Hey everyone, welcome all to another live watch party. We are back. We had Christmas. It was great. I had Christmas with family. I hope you were able to have something wonderful yourself. I spent most of the day cooking with my wife, but we had a great meal. Um, and obviously, we had Stranger Things come out. With I had family visiting. I didn't get to see it till the day after Christmas, basically the 26th in the evening. Finally, wife party and I sat on the couch and watched the three episodes. And it's kind of like like it starts off fine, like you're like you're in it, um it and then but like it's just like it's dragging. There's so much Holly. There, like, Holly is in it so much, and there's all these like long speeches, and then you get hit with like upside down isn't the upside down, it's the bridge, and you're just like a little confused by it all, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense. um and Yeah, basically it was kind of like a downward slope, right? It wasn't like whoa that was awesome, whoa that was awesome, like whoa that was awesome, like kind of like a downward slope. Wild Man Beyond, thank you for coming on in. um Here, Jim Tim, thank you. Yo, this is not the show for. Yeah, I think I'm trying to write a video, and I'm my life is distraction. I need to focus. That'll probably be my New Year's resolution, if not even pre New Year's resolution. But like the whole that the whole like we'll see. It's like it already like was like flailing, right? Like so much like focus on stuff like Holly, which just aren't as emotionally core, kind of like uprooting the whole concept of the upside down, made it a lot less interesting. Um, and then like that thing, and it was like, what is going on here? Like, and what is the point of all this? And it's like another long speech, like when they need to move to save the world, but it's like, hold on, before we save the world, I got to let everyone know I'm gay, and I'm gay for my best friend. It was like, what is going on here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I think it really failed even more so in the show because, for whatever it's worth, they already had a moment of self-discovery. What do you want to call it? What do they coming, the coming of age story, the self-discovery. We had that at the end of part 1 in episode 4, where he then tapped into the hive mind. It did like, and it was like, oh, you got to be yourself or whatever, and he was able to do that. And maybe it was a little tired then, but it more or less was like, okay, like no one was like really throwing up their hands and like, this is bullshit or something. Like, so you had this moment, maybe it's just we're a little tired of it, but it would still worked in the show, um by every measure. In episode 4, the coming of age, the accepting yourself, whatever, very very common trope in with teenagers, young movies, young adults, whatever, like that coming of moment, and it worked in episode 4. And then we get this like scene now in episode 7, and it's like, what is going on? Like, what? Like, I don't know. I was just vibing, opening gifts, and waiting for volume 2. It's an okay season. Yeah. Episode 7's review bombing is ridiculous. Well, I don't know about review bombing, but Some of it was good. Yeah, like what I'm saying is I think like there's some good stuff throughout this season. Um, but I feel like they're getting sidetracked. Like stuff is just getting off. Like we're spending way too much time with Holly, like which is our like she's not a new character, but she's essentially new. She was always really just background, and we don't have the emotional connection. They're kind of losing the tension with all these long drawn out speeches. I mean, we had Max's to Holly, Will's, of course. We had Jonathan and Nancy, and it's just like, oh boy, like a lot of tension is like lost. The whole Max running with Kate Bush overview is what happened to Prince. Hopefully, he'll be in the final. Yeah, no Prince. I was actually thinking about that earlier. Um, I would have. I mean, I get it. Although they really missed an opportunity. How did they not just have a sign of him say of like Max saying, "You know what? That's okay. We can never listen to Kate Bush again." And like Lucas being, "Thank God I'm so sick of this song." Like I actually thought they were going to have something like that. Like where he's like she says something, well, okay, you don't have to play Kate Bush ever again. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm so sick of it." Like that they could speak for the audience a little bit. Okay, like it was cool last season. It was like a great moment in episode 4 last season. It was a great moment. But like now it's like we needed that, like, oh thank God it's done, but like they didn't give us that, and that was like really frustrating. I'm like, how do you miss that? Like how do you miss that? That's like so right there, like the audience is going to be a little bit over it by now, like that. Just go ahead and give it to the audience. It's like right there, pick it up. And they didn't do that, and I was like, oh. Oh, yeah, I don't know about Prince. Maybe we'll get it. I don't know. I haven't followed that. They just made like Will is no longer afraid child. He could be man. No longer afraid. Yeah, I mean, I think you're essentially right there. He had his like coming to moment, his self acceptance, coming of age, however you want to call it, in episode 4, and I think it worked there. I think most people thought it was a pretty cool ending. I mean, actually, I mean, certainly when he like was killing the Demogorgons, that was like really cool. Like it's in fact, I would say so far, maybe that's still the best part of the season. Um, but like, I don't know why we needed a whole other speech in episode 7, literally when they should be out saving the world. It's like we gotta save the world, but it's like, hold on, you got to get everyone together. We got no deaths this season. Yeah, it's true. Murray should have killed. My wife was like, "How did he not die when he's at the very end when he's driving the truck and they're shooting?" It's like, how did none of the bullets hit him? It feels too rushed. Not enough time. Well, I mean, you could say like episode or season 5, it dropped right into things more or less. Which is true. Prince final episode. Yeah. But honestly, like here's the thing, I don't want to go back and change episode 4. Like I think episode 4 worked the way it was. I actually thought it was done really well. You know, as some people didn't like it cuz I think they were just like tired of it. Oh, like he accepted being gay and now he has powers. Like maybe it's just a little tired, but like it still worked. Just because like you've seen stuff like this before, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. Um the breakup scene was so stupid. Um, yeah. I mean, it wasn't great. I'm not here arguing for the breakup scene. Um, the breakup was unfortunate. um, kind of what I thought was going to happen. Like I don't know. I just seemed like they weren't there and they were drifting apart. And I even had a short on that. So it's all in Will's head. Well, I don't think that'll be the case, but yeah. Um Woke? No, it's not woke. I mean, you're right. The term gets used a little bit too much. It gets overused. Like it had like a good meaning at one point. But inevitably shit gets overused. As proof, Cobra Kai is a better show. Yeah, I almost think it's like I can call it. The scene poorly conveyed. Yeah, them just talking while they think they're gonna die and all that. It's a little bit like, I mean, every scene where they're just talking like in a life or death moment or something. It's just like, oh my god. We're expecting serious character deaths. Do they know that what show they're watching? I think we may still get something. Um, I mean, although if you've been following my streams, people have asked me for a while, and I've actually, despite him being one of my more favorite characters, I've often listed Murray as a guy who could die because he's like the most expendable. He's not in a relationship. Like he has no family, he has no real connection to anyone else. He was just kind of got caught up in all of it. Um, so like, yeah, like Murray is like the one I thought is like the most expendable. And I still think he is. In fact, I can't see how he survived the the truck attack. like like I said earlier. My wife was like, how did he not get shot? Like they were shooting right at the windshield and he's like just there and nothing hit him. Vecna has always talked about he had visions, so he was showing it to Will, and Will even said he saw that. He saw a vision. Well, it seems like they know when they're seeing a vision. Like Nancy had a vision too last year, and many others had visions. Um, and plus with like Will's ability now, it seems more like he would know what's going on. Characters don't necessarily need. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Kill off Robin. Oh, the other one. Actually, yeah, they thought the other one was going to die. I don't even remember her name. The girl who was on Ann and the nurse girl, like Robin's girlfriend, quote unquote. Like she was ripe to be killed off too. Like kind of like important to a character, has been there a little bit, you know, but like very expendable. Many thought she was going to die in the hospital attack, um, but she didn't. Callie was useless and boring. Oh yes, I'm going to bring this up in my video. And actually, one of the most frustrating things to me is they brought Callie back and basically did nothing with her for 3 episodes. And in fact, like when they had ran through the military compound, like why is Callie not using her powers to help? It said they're just hoping not to get shot and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean they're setting like Callie up for one thing in the end. Like I would have had a little more Callie than Holly. Like I would have traded some Holly for Callie to do something, but Callie did nothing. Like 3 episodes. Like that was a shock to me. And another thing that frustrated me. Murray and Callie are Caesar's death options. They don't have the Jones to kill anyone. Yeah, I'm pretty close to that. Robin or Robin's girlfriend, but I don't think they're going to do that. They don't want to kill like, oh, it's the gay couple. Like they don't want to kill that, so that's not going to happen. So you're basically left with Murray or Robbie, and I think Callie is basically ready to go on a suicide mission. She already told us this, essentially. Noah Shap looks kind of like Robbie. Maybe in some ways, but in a lot of ways, no. like um, if I can hmm. 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 Nope. I don't get it. Anyway, where are we at? Very handsome and fit. I mean, yeah, he's in shape, but like Tanner is like insane, 6-pack abs, muscles, athletic. I'm not sure Noah's all that. The show wants to be horror sci-fi genre with gruesome deaths, but then give all the mainish characters Ash Williams level plot armor. I'm not even sure I get that reference, Ash Williams, but I get what you're saying either way. Definitely plot armor. Definitely plot armor. So yeah, that's definitely an issue here. The absolute worst character in the show is Neil, Billy's dad. Fucking yeah, yeah, yeah. The show's good with like irredeemable bad characters. I mean, like Will and Jonathan's father was sort of the same too. Just kind of like a character you're made to not like, but like no redeeming qualities or something, you know. Um that's yeah, so definitely that's a good one. See, I want to go back here. You say like the show wants to be horror sci-fi, and I think part of the problem is it was never horror sci-fi. Like, in fact, one of the problems that we just got is like it went from horror supernatural. It was like a supernatural, and then they tried to pivot to sci-fi, where like the upside down or something. It's all science based. It's being held together by the bullshit matter. On top of the lab that Dr. Brenner found out somehow. We don't know how, but never told anyone. He just had it in his book. like 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 the move of the upside down from like some supernatural like weird thing, to like this weird now science thing where it links to another world doesn't really even make sense, and it's being held by a matter thing like a bullshit. It's basically a MacGuffin, like it's like just some plot device matter is basically what it is. The plot device, matter on top of the lab in the upside down is holding the whole thing up. And if we blow that up, then the whole upside down will collapse and we'll break the bridge between the worlds. um, I don't know. I liked it more when it just had this weird supernatural feel to it. Dimitri kick. Vecna's ass so hard to be threatened. Yeah, he just bad talked him, I tell you. The show has gone way too far beyond simpler pots of season 1 and 2. Well, so like the problem um that like the idea that like Max is still in there. Like in fact, here look. This is the end here. No. Like the end here, like it's zooming in on Holly as they're all going. It's basically a seance, and then like this is like very indicative that like you know I think like Max is out. Not to mention like Max is literally at the radio station. She's interacting, doing all the stuff. She's not helping. Like, does she mention the cave? No. Uh, why? I don't know. Like, I don't think like that's too much of a twist for the final episode. Kind of felt bad for was Jason. Feel ultimately someone stuck with grief that didn't know what was going on. Given how he idolized Hopper, I'm certain he'd listen to Hopper. Yeah, it is true. He didn't know what was going on, was trying to do what he thought was right, with what he knew. And like he saw legitimate weird shit. Like, he saw at the end like Max floating in the air. He thinks they're in some occult thing, and then what do you know? He sees Max floating in the air. Well, of course, like it seems like he's proven right, right? Like he was proven right. So, yeah. I mean, while he comes off as a very unlikable character in the show, um, certainly, from his perspective, it makes sense. You know what show didn't let us down? Cobra Kai. Absolutely. It's a shame, but it's true. Cobra Kai was the only show that stuck the landing. I mean, this sounds weird, but like the last like legitimate like good ending was like Big Bang Theory, which ended in 2019. Right around when like Game of Thrones was going off track. Like Big Bang Theory had its last episode too, and it actually ended pretty well. They wrapped that show up pretty well for whatever it was worth. I don't know. Maybe the spinoff did too, I guess. It's gonna milk the franchise till it's head. It's gonna be bad. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to too hard to make it into a pop culture giant when shows that are already that get to the point by being amazing. That's why they keep adding so much. Well, I think they got like a lot of ideas, and so like if you compare like this here to what happened to Game of Thrones, I don't think they're at all like Game of Thrones was like totally off the rails, horrible in every way. If Watch Party had existed many years before, I would have been talking about how Game of Thrones was going off the rails, and everyone would have said I was dumb and wrong, and then I would have been proven right because that's happens. But like I don't think like Stranger Things is like off the rails the way Game of Thrones is. It's just it has like a lot of bad instincts or decisions, you know. Um like I said, um um like a lot of focus on Holly. So I saw someone post that actually in season 5, Holly's had more screen time than any other character. Like, I mean, think about that. 7 episodes in, Holly has more screen time than any other character. Like, what? Like, how is this true? Like, I just laughed when I saw that because it was exactly what I said. While I was watching it, I was saying to my wife, "Why is it so much Holly?" Like, it's like I get like it was a way to include her, but then like they went overboard. It was just like too much. You know, our emotions are with the other characters that we've been building up. Um, but like their ideas are there and stuff. It's just a lot of kind of poor execution and such. I was so confused that we're to look completely different than upside down that was normally shown. I initially thought it was a coincidence. Yeah, you know, none of us really knew. We just, I just assumed it was the upside down, but like another part of it we had never seen. I mean, it's funny because like it did look very different, but like we just thought like it was like the beginning of the upside down or something, and it hadn't fully formed or whatever. It was a different part. As part of his vision and showing Will his whole plan to the end and to mind fuck with Will, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Just like throwing shit against the wall. Yeah. Basically the wrap up was god awful. Of but like that was always clear. Like if you knew what you to look for, you knew it was going off the rails. Like I knew a couple seasons ahead of time. And I might have I didn't have my YouTube back then. You know, like it was like but if even if I did have my YouTube, I would have been like, "Oh, the signs are bad. Game of Thrones is bad." And my comments would have been, "You're just a hater. You don't know good TV if it hits you in the ass." Um it happens. It's okay. But you know, it is what it is. So did Brenner of the Hawken Labs create the I don't fucking know, man. Like that leads to the abyss. I mean, did he? I that part like the creation is a little bit unclear. You know, I don't understand how Brenner knows all this. Back in season 1, they approached the upside down with like they didn't know what the hell it was. It was like encroaching on them, and then they were going in there and burning with flamethrowers to try to keep it back from encroaching. It seemed like they didn't know anything, and they didn't go more than 20, 30 feet inside. Right. But like Brenner knows all this, knows everything about it, even where it leads. Maybe. I don't know. People were still trusting D&D at that point. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much that's it. Yeah. They were trusting D&D, but they shouldn't have because I mean it was clear, you know, they could adapt the books really well. Maybe in some ways even improve upon the books in some parts. But you know, when they ran out of books, it was like it was the end. It was if you knew what to look for, you knew it was the end. Like they just couldn't do it without the source material. And and it's not all their own fault. I mean, part of it is um Martin's fault. Like he should have written it, but because I think in one of the reasons is not to get off on Game of Thrones, like but like everyone's like, oh, Martin didn't like is changing the ending because people didn't like the ending. The problem is he had like some ideas, but he never really fleshed it out, right? He didn't write it, so he didn't know how it would actually go. And yeah, there's like a lot of problems with it. A lot of it doesn't make sense. So D&D just did what they could, right? They just did what they could um to make George R. R. Martin's idea of an ending, but now Martin himself is trying to write it and he doesn't know either. Um um yeah, and he's pretty much true. He's never going to be um he's never going to finish the story. So um and I would consider that as a failed writer. It's your magnum opus. It made you world famous, but you can't even finish the last two books. Okay. I mean, it is not everyone can be a hero, but maybe Prince can be the hero of Hawkins. Wildman Beyond is really pushing for the Prince um the Prince ending. Yeah. Like I was actually shocked at the end of this when we saw like Callie on the truck. I was like, why is Callie and Elle not helping? They're just being shot at by all these machine guns and army. Like they could have all been killed. Like, shouldn't they help? But they didn't help. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, man. Better received if they weren't released as a separate part. Maybe. Barely know how D&D works. Do you mean Dungeons and Dragons? D&D has many different names. In Game of Thrones, it refers to Dan and Dave, the creators of the show. Dungeons and Dragons, the game, could also mean Duffer and Duffer. Trust me. No, I mean, as fun as it is to think he has them written, he absolutely does not. Like, you got to remember, he's under contract. Like that, those books represent real money for just the publisher, for the people who make their livelihoods off that books. Like you can't take it and just have it in the trunk, until he dies. So that's like a popular theory, but like that's just not in the real world. Don't trust Callie. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, in fact, she absolutely seems like she has her own agenda at this point. Um, I mean, she didn't do anything except reveal that she basically has her own agenda. So that's where we're at with Callie. Um, very stripped down. So, yeah. To confirm Vecna is controlled by the Mind Flare. No. And since apparently the Mind Flare comes from the abyss, the other world, I mean, the thinking is maybe Vecna is controlling the Mind Flare. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people die. And sometimes they keep living and still don't finish. I guess it's an ironic fate, but I think it says something about Martin's ultimate like nihilistic, pessimistic worldview. Um, he's a bitter man, and that doesn't lead itself to creation. Kali's been tempting 11 since season 2. That's the reason why they brought her back, to see if she can turn her, but she can't, and she has to betray her. Yeah, that sounds, more or less right. In the right direction. That Kali's like been a tempter, a temptress, you know, trying to lead 11 on her path, but um but yeah, I don't know. Part of the real problem with Callie is um is she's basically like trying to get 11 to kill herself, right? Like no one will be safe as long as you're alive. Um like, so what is she trying to do with that? I suspect Callie, yeah, I think Callie ultimately thinks the only way to end a program is to kill 11. Thoughts on Linda Hamilton as Kay? I thought there was some ADR with her scene where she slams the lieutenant against the wall. I'm not sure about that. She was actually in less in part 2 than I thought. She's okay. We know there's something to her. Because she said that, Linda Hamilton. That still hasn't been revealed. Is she Brenner's sister or something? Clearly, she was trying to get the program started, right? So she knows about the program because she was trying to use Callie's blood, but Callie's blood wasn't good enough. So that's seems to be a thing, but I don't know. My prediction originally was, she would ultimately be on their side. I don't know. So she's not. Oh, yeah. Hopper there. There she is. I was like, I know she's here somewhere. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know what she's out to. Like, why do they have the base in the upside down? Like, they're trying to restart the thing, but why put it in the upside down? Like, why not have it in the normal world? I don't know. It was kind of weird. Callie becoming even more unlikable than a season is actually really impressive. Hats off. Yeah, and she didn't do much, but you're right. One line of dialogues. Yeah, it probably wasn't AI generated, but sometimes they do ADR things, so you never know. Callie versus 11 if she backstabs the gang. Yeah, it could happen. But I would think 11 can beat Callie. Because Callie doesn't seem to have the other powers that 11 has. So spliced. I'll try to rewatch it at some point. Season 3, Max became a better influence on 11 instead of Callie. My theory is Max will have powers after waking up, and she'll have a fight with Callie after wounding 11. Maybe. But I think Max is going to be at the cave at this point because she's the only one who stayed behind, right? Who stayed behind? Basically, Max and Joyce. Like, um, oh, Joyce is there. So it's basically just Max is the only one who stayed behind. So, um, so it seems like Max is going to have to get to the cave. 11 is going to convince Kay in the final to shut down the program, and her role going forward be prevent it from happening again. Could be. I mean, I did have a theory that, Kay will eventually be on their side or something. So that would fit with that. But we'll have to see how it happens. The military stuff boring. Yeah, it's especially boring because you don't fully know what they're trying to do. Like, we got a little bit more now from Callie that they're trying to restart Brenner's program. But then, like, how do they know about it? How much? What do people do? Like, why is everyone going along with this? It's all kind of weird. They convinced Callie to shut down the program, or by the end of the show. Everyone loses their power when they kill off the mind flare, which is another possibility. I mean, I've predicted from the beginning that, like, 11 lives, but without her powers. The military appearing in supernatural shows to weaponize said supernatural intelligence of it is a boring trope, honestly. Well, I mean, sure, but you can say, um, that was Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Like, the Nazis were trying to get the Ark for the power, and even the Last Crusade, the Nazis are trying to get the thing. That's very common. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a trope, but it's not necessarily bad. Oof. Hopper jumps on. Boy, you don't know how Murray didn't get killed. They just keep shooting. Like, this is why my wife was like, how did Murray not die? Off topic, it's fine. Cobra Kai spinoff, would you like to see, if any? Cobra Kai. I still think we gotta get the Miyagi spinoff. I was hoping for an announcement this year. I don't think it'll happen, but if we can get an announcement within the 1 year anniversary of the series concluding, so what is that, February 13th or something? That would be good. Explains all the cringy ass scenes. Yeah, you would like to explain it away. It's all vision, but I don't think we're not setting that up. That's like people saying it was all a Dungeons and Dragons game or something. But thoughts on Millie Bobby Brown's performance? Seeing consistently fantastic. Seeing criticism this season her favorite were a bit frozen. Yeah, I feel like she tried to revert to previous 11. Um but like this doesn't feel like the 11 after um the 11, who was in California going through all that, the 11 who's basically been through 5 seasons. Especially early on with Hopper and such. She was a little bit more, it's like she reverted back to how she was previously. That's a stare right there. Um, Her voice delivery is very good. Could be Botox procedures, freezing her facial, which allow for expression. Vanessa Kirby had a similar issue. I don't know about Fantastic Four. I can't imagine Millie Bobby Brown had any Botox. She's only like 21. She was like 20 while shooting this. Like, there's no reason for her to have. Can we get Watch Party's seasons ranking? Well, Stranger Things isn't finished, although 5 is taking a nosedive because it may be. One for. One 14352. I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of season 2. Some people don't like season 3, but I think it's better than season 2. So, but I never get tired of hating that cosmetic dermatology industry. Yeah. Um, hmm. Still looking forward to that crossover with Cobra Kai. Yeah, I got an idea for one. I'm gonna try to get it out, maybe even tomorrow. So yeah. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Um Had to be the upside down. Yeah. What did you think tanked the rankings? I'm not sure what you're asking. Tanked Stranger Things or what? Stranger Things and Cobra Kai peak 80s nostalgia, badass character action. Yeah. Yeah. Although it's feeling more and more like a reimagining of the 80s, as some people have said. It feels more and more like 2025 reimagining the 80s. It didn't feel like that necessarily in season 1 or even season 2. Even season 3. But I feel like season 5 it's sort of like slipped over. Season 2 is your favorite, Suyu. That's fine. The thing about season 2, I don't know. It's good, but like the Mike and Elle like being separated was always like hard on me. I felt like they were so much of the emotional energy of season 1 and then it's kind of stripped away. Um it makes the season hard. But fair enough. Lowest rating. Why do you think? Well, I mean, it's what I've been talking about a lot. I mean, I think a lot of things just didn't work out. All this Holly stuff. I think the reveal that the upside down isn't the upside down, it's a bridge. The bridge is, you know, it's a bridge to another world. Like that's um like I think that kind of ruins the upside down. Um all of Will's stuff, which was just kind of needless out of nowhere. Um, Maybe even a little cringe. It just and was frankly done better just a few episodes earlier in episode 4. Just sort of like um torpedoed the whole thing. Favorite season of Cobra Kai was season 3. Is probably my least favorite. You know what the funny thing is about season 3 Cobra Kai is like, even though I say it's like it probably has the best soundtrack. It actually probably has some of the best comedy, some of the best funny moments of the show. Like there's a lot of like good stuff. I just like, it didn't like wrap up well, in my opinion. I never liked that house fight. I never liked that house fight from the beginning. It was like, oof. And then Kreese wants to kill Johnny, and then maybe Daniel, whatever. But that season was great. Yeah, I mean, I like I just said, yeah, for sure. Had a lot of good stuff going for it. Like a lot of good episodes, strong stuff, but some of that stuff at the end just never sat right with me. Um some of the Vietnam stuff, and this may be part of my own problem, is like it wasn't the Vietnam stuff I wanted. I thought we were going to get Vietnam stuff. I knew we were, but it wasn't that what I was expecting. Um it was interesting, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Bit low budget. Yeah, when they're all ducking in the background. Um Here he is, he's drawing the bridge like from Brenner's. How did Brenner know all this? Like I don't get it. And like and not to mention Dustin somehow figured it out. He has this whole notebook or whatever of all this stuff. And Dustin like looked at it in 2 minutes and understood everything. It was uh like how does it even happen? Season 5 is your favorite season of Cobra Kai. Oh, for sure. Yeah, bad directing. Probably low budget contributed to that too. Yeah, I don't know. Get back to it. The episode King Cobra where it ends with snakes randomly showing up at LaRusso Auto. It doesn't even make any sense. Like it never made any sense. Like what? Like, it never made any sense. How did just a couple snakes show up? And not only that, they were in the car and they came out of the car on cue. Like, I mean, come on. Oh man. Yeah, they didn't have enough money. They didn't have enough money because all the money was going to Stranger Things. And the bridge. Oh, I don't think Erica went. Erica wasn't. Yeah, Erica stayed behind. So it's like Erica and Max. They're probably going to be the ones that go to the cave. Like Kreese put the snake. Well, like how does he get in there and put a snake, and then the snake remains hidden until like he's later on the phone talking to them, and he hangs up. Like it's just like you know, like oh, he's special forces. That's it. Hmm. Well, this is a meme at this point, but why didn't the landlord call the cops? Is it a whole handshake deal? Um, yeah, there might have been some under the table stuff that he gets himself implicated, but he's trying to do things off the books. He brings in his tough nephews to rough him up. So yeah, definitely. The Upside Down has a connection with ancient martial arts stories of different dimensions, something like Mortal Kombat. Yeah, you enter the Upside Down like martial arts realm, Music lives on talk. Is this a shout out to TikTok? Music lives on talk. That's probably a shirt or something. I don't know what that is. Um just a lot of stuff with the kids. Like um some was like okay, but then some was just like a little too much with the kids. Like it that's why I just think like there was actually too much Holly. Like I wasn't surprised when I saw someone say that Holly had the most screen time of anyone in season 5. I was just like, yep, I knew that because I even said it as we were watching. There's like so much Holly. And it was like, yep. So it's a shame. Oh, this is military, blah, blah, blah. More planning. More planning. Uh. Notice how Max doesn't even want to see her mother. Hey, do you want to see your mom after 2 years? No. I want to see the radio station. All right. Callie's there. I could maybe play a little audio. I generally don't. Um, here's the problem: like dialogue's okay, but you get nailed with um, you get nailed with music. Music's always the problem. Is Max Mom even alive? I'd assume so. Um, yeah, there's nothing, no indication she died or anything. So Hopper doesn't trust Callie. So basically, this is like the setup. Callie's going to betray Elle. But Hopper will try to kill Callie, and Elle will stop Hopper, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. I mean, there's your prediction. Hmm. Yeah, Max and Will. She's like new into this. Yeah, I thought she may die, but I don't think so anymore. They're just not going to kill the lesbian couple. Kind of wish they showed Hopper be a parental figure towards Will. Yeah, he doesn't have time. and it would take away from him being a parental figure to Elle. So just stick with what you have, and Will has Joyce, so it's just Joyce is going to be his figure. Clark, Erica, Crow's Nest, steel signal to open gates, gear up, modify big buy truck, weapons, diesel fuel, C4 detonator, turntable, gunner hole in the freezer unit. That's where Nancy comes out. Hand holds in back of truck. Nothing to bulletproof it. Infiltrate Max Z. Hop travels. Here's the plan. Hop travels. Shit. Hop travels back to Radio Shack by TV Channel. Big Bird travels back to Max Z. Murray, fuel up generator, turn on power in lab. Head to roof, set explosives. Year. So Murray's going to be the one setting the bombs. We actually don't have Hopper. Head from Beanstalk, infiltrate. Interesting. All right, guys. We had some fun. Stranger Things off the rails, proving Cobra Kai is the greatest show ever, with a great wrap up. We can celebrate that as fans of Cobra Kai. But maybe Stranger Things can pull something off in the last episode. Well, I mean, it's going to be a long one. We'll see what they do. I think they can't completely salvage it, but they can at least end up with something decent. I'm going to try and get some videos. Robin Lynn, you're late. We're about to end. I want to get some videos out hopefully tomorrow. Shorts and long form. Make sure you watch them and we'll have some fun. I love you all. Make sure you subscribe. They better get Prince. We'll see. We'll see by this time next week. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I love you all. See you at the next watch party.